Vlad TV. Let's get it. Like, subscribe,
Yeah,
comment.
look, I was on DJ Academic's show yesterday, and we were talking about the new Lil Durk album, right? And I'm like, I like the album, right? I know me and, Durk had problems with me, whatever else, but I'm like, I like the album. I thought it was a good album. He's like, no, it was a cool album, but it didn't have that edge that we were all waiting for from Durk, where he's like dissing his ops and he's like putting all this stuff in there and code, and he calls it indictment music, essentially, right? And if have you heard of the new Lil Durk album?
No.
Okay, so I mean, look, I'm a Lil Durk fan, so I listened to it. It was a cool album, and there were certain words that were taken out of certain songs. You could tell, like his legal department went through and was like, okay, take this out, take this out, take this out. The part that kind of made me jump a little bit when I heard it, there's a song called Monitoring Me, where there's a line that said, I don't even got to pay a N-word to do nothing. I got killers, all my friends. And I'm like, yo.
A dyke man like a motherfucker. Niggas be self-snitching like a bitch.
Why is this on the album? And I guess academics, told me that song had already been released before. So at that point, this was probably before, it is before he got arrested.
Right.
So at that point, it's like, well, whatever. It's already out there. Let's just put it on because it's not like we can hide the song. But I guess just putting it on and having more emphasis, like when I heard that, I'm like, you are literally in jail right now for what you just said in this song.
Right.
For what you just said in this song.
But that's the thing, though, is there's two types of people. There's the me and yous who look at it like that's dumb as fuck. Because everything you just said, you literally spelled it out in the music. And then there's the other group of people that are like, oh, we want to listen to it more because when he says he's with killers, he's really with killers. So it's like that's, people like the authenticity even though it's nothing but destruction.
Nothing but destruction, bro.
Yeah, look, academics, he knows my background with Durk. Like, I don't know if I talked about this with you, but me and Durk were hella cool. We did a bunch of interviews. We hung out a little bit. Like, he would hit me up, to get, stories on Vlad TV and so forth. Me and his brother, D-Thing, were cool. Everything, right? And then we did an interview, and he had mentioned that, his girl's having a baby, and he asked me to take it out. I told my staff to take it out. They ended up messing up and not taking it out. So he was mad at me over not taking it out. I tried to reach out to him and say, yo, it really was an accident. Like, I wouldn't do this on purpose. Like, Vlad TV is not known for breaking baby stories. We have a 95% male audience. My audience doesn't give a shit if you're having a baby or not.
At all.
And it's definitely not something I would wreck a relationship over. But he was just mad at me. So I think on a couple of his albums, he said like "fuck Vlad" or some shit like that. Whatever. I don't really give a shit. But academics asked me, do I think that Durk is going to beat this case? And I said it completely depends on his co-defendants. If they testify against him, he's cooked.
Yeah.
If everyone stays quiet, he'll be good, but it's a little hard for the actual shooters that have been caught, that are confirmed that they're the shooters, to just say, yeah, I'll do life in prison. Like, okay, no problem.
Them niggas gonna tell.
I think the question shouldn't be, will he beat it? I think the question should be, will he survive it?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't necessarily think you're just beating a Fed case like that. I think there's going to be a difference where, 5 years, yeah, you'll survive that. 10 years, you'll survive that. A fucking 80-year sentence plus life, you're not making it, So I think the question should really be, will he survive the case instead of will he beat the case? Because what history is there of people beating a case like this and just flat out beating it? I don't know anybody. It's a sad thing to fucking think about, but this ain't a state case, and this is people flew to another state to murder somebody. There's a lot of shit involved in this.
God damn.
Well, yeah, because this is a completely premeditated situation. At any point, he could have been like, nah, I'm good. If he actually did order this hit, he could have been like, nah, never mind. Just enjoy LA. We're not doing none of this shit.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead. I'll pay for your hotel rooms. I'll rent you guys some cars, whatever. Just hang out. We'll go back to
And
Chicago.
I mean, I'll be honest. I think that's also why you're important. Your circle is important because, like, you know, somebody can make a video on me, right, and I get pissed off. I could think some crazy shit in my head, but I don't have anybody around me that's gonna gas me up.
Type
So
shit.
it's like,
Watch who around you for real.
yeah, if you're bragging about you're around all these killers, and then somebody dishes you, all these killers are gonna be like, man, what's up? I want a new Rolex. Just give me a Rolex. I'll go knock them off. Just fly me over there. I'm gonna make it happen. So it's like,
Yeah.